then we can get back to planting sugar beets. Hopefully that's far enough over that I can get the field covered. So I'll keep this on a track of 180. Actually, it kind of looks like I'll make it down to the bottom. I might make it back up to the top, but I'm definitely not going to be able to fill in that triangle to our right. Now the grass, the big huge grass field that I'm planning to bale and wrap, that one is going to need some lime applied sometime this year. Because my plan was to keep that as an arable field, and as an arable field I don't want to lime it until I plant it so I get the best yield from the arable crop. But since we're not doing that, I probably need to lime it maybe after the first cut. We'll spread some lime and fertilizer after that first cut so that we can boost the yield back up. You don't lose a lot until you get to about the third harvest, and at that point you cease being good and drop to okay, and I think that's the point you start losing. I don't know if that's applicable to grass, of course. Never actually did the tests, never watched anybody who did the science, but there's speculation that fertilizing and liming grass doesn't do a lot for the yield, but every time you cut it, the field is going to get more acidic. So I think it's probably a good idea to get out there and just balance the chemical in the field. And here we are. And we kind of made it, so we'll turn that off, we'll fold that up, we'll head back to the thing and get it filled up again. Bloop. So yes, as I was saying, since I've now got a second screen, I can see everything that's going on Twitch. The downside is, because it's my old screen that was limited to 60 Hertz, it does result in the game output being limited to 60 Hertz as well. If I don't have anything displaying on my second screen, I can get whatever game I'm playing up to 180 Hertz. Megahertz, Hertz, whatever it is. But 180 frames a second rather than 60. So I am thinking I might want to get myself a cheap 1080 180 Hertz screen as my second. Now Teenage Osa uses my old screen where the on-off button is unreliable. And because it's unreliable, if you turn it off, you can't necessarily turn it back on again, which not good. So I could give her my old 1080 60 screen and get rid of the other one because we don't need it. Okay, I need to go down to that triangle there. Let's unfold this. will kick in once it detects lime is needed on the field. There we go. So yeah, we've opened this field up. I've got rid of the hedge on the right hand side of it. Obviously the trees that we're driving through now, and the hedge that splits this north-south. This will give us a huge sugar beet harvest next year. Or this year. Which may or may not be a good thing. It does mean we'll probably end up selling a lot of the sugar and a fair amount of the yeast. The dairy might need sugar. I can't remember. Did I buy the dairy last week or not? I don't recall. That's good. Take it up this line. I think I'm very, very close to where I already spread some. So effectively the right hand side of this spread area is duplicate. But yeah, I haven't played any Farming Simulator 25 in a couple of weeks because I've been playing Truck Sim. Sometimes with everything I'm doing on this farm, I kind of need to play something else other than Farming Simulator, even if it's a different version of Farming Simulator. Not seeing any new maps yet, but we are getting some fairly good equipment. And a lot of the script mods are being released, which is good. And it prompted, I've forgotten already, but it did prompt me to look up, I need to look up enhanced baler mod. Or enhanced round baler mod in Farm Sim 22, because that would make wrapping and unloading bales something that I wouldn't mind driving the tractor to do. At the moment, I hate having to keep an eye on what I'm doing when I'm baling, and I'm always getting the baler's full. Oh nuts! The baler was full. I need to go back and pick up the grass it missed because it was full. So having the enhanced baler mod, oh yeah, that is working, does mean that I can then do what I do with the harvester, is just drive, and I can pay more attention to Twitch chat, and the vehicle will take care of itself. Anyway, so we're almost done here. And we get back to planting again. And at least it's going to be easy to see where I planted and where I haven't, except for that little bit where I planted it before I put the lime down. Okay. Around, and good grief, it looks just like Christmas. At least the ground texture allows me to sort of pick a row and follow it. I'm not having to drive solely on the compass. And you're done. And we go. Now also the nice thing about FarmSim25's steering guidance system is you can set it to guide you for headlands and rows, which is kind of cool. And because the workers will follow it, you can manually do bits. So if you feel that the headlands, the workers just have problems doing headlands, you can run the headlands and then set the worker loose once you've completed them, and it will do the rest of the field without needing to be adjusted. The problem with course play and guidance steering is you can kind of get it mostly right, but the course play course is probably not going to match your guidance steering course precisely. And there we go. That's done. We need to fold it up, which will automatically turn it off and get this back to the yard. So, good. You know what? I'm going to unfold it. I'm going to run along the edge here. Yeah, I kind of thought I was a little bit too far into the field there. And we'll see if there's anything needs done here as well. I don't think this first bit's going to trigger anything. Oh, yes it is. But this bit here is. It's not using up that much. Okay. Now we can fold it up and go home. There might be other bits I missed, but really the line was fairly close. pH was fairly close. What about this bit here? Oops, that one. No. Okay. That was good. I think I'm going to take this over, park it by the house. And that will be good for now. Squeak. Squeak. Engine off. Okay, find this thing again. Okay, let's start getting that unfolded. Obviously, I'm far enough away from the the hedge. So we will zoop, turn that on, lower it down, and back to seeding. So I'm just reseeding this patch. It's going to use no seed whatsoever, but it is going to change the texture of the field so that we can see we've been there. Ooh. And this bit's using a ton of seed. Oh, whatever. So yeah, sugar beets, this is good. And then we've got a month to wait until corn or maize. think I'm gonna plant around this as a baseline. So we'll go up the fields to the right and down the fields to the left. So I get long down paths and shorter up paths. So I don't really need to worry too much about this edge. So, and obviously this is going to give us a ton of weeds in May and require fertilization. I think it's gonna require a lot of fertilizer in some parts of this field. This southern end was quite heavily fertilized, so we're not going to have to do much on that. The north end, however, is quite likely, because we grew grass, so grass doesn't need a lot of nitrogen. We did mulch it, and I'm seeding over it, which is boosting the nitrogen levels, because one of the mods I'm running is environmental farming, which if you grow a crop and then plough it in certain ways, you will get the benefit of additional nitrogen from destroying that crop. It's kind of like base game, you get fertilizer state if you destroy a crop. Okay, lift that up. Lift that up. Is that button there? So I'm gonna lower this right about here. I'm gonna turn this around there. All right, get that there. Looks like we missed a bit, but that's fine. I will do cruise control. We're going to go and see what's for sale. So, big square baler, straw blower, an 8RX, 7810, yeah, we knew about that. Oh, there's Vestrum, 130 horsepower. I could get one of those with front loader arms. There's a thing, what's that? That's a Cedar Mack truck and a Rudolph trailer. Nothing exciting, so no big deals there, or nothing I'm seriously wanting. Vestrum, yeah, it's a nice sort of pot around the cowshed thing, but we got self-propelled feeder bin, so I don't actually need one of those specifically. If I had a tow behind, then having a permanent attach tractor would be a good thing that I don't have to worry about detaching when I have other jobs. As I said, I could get the front loader attacher for the Lamborghini, and that would let me move those arms and front loader attachments. Alrighty, see if I can get this to follow precisely, or close to. So not exactly the best way to do this, but that's okay. We're kind of realistic, not entirely realistic. Let's go with that. Oh, I was thinking I could add sorghum to our planting schedule and put that in the grass field directly north of here. I think the cows only need these 4 fields that are adjacent to the yard to keep them supplied. Maize we're going to have way more than we need, but that's okay. When we do the maize harvest, once it's finished, what's the word for it, fermenting, we can then empty the old clamp, just sell that maize off, or maize silage off, and buy and start using the new one. Okay, so there is a little sliver here we didn't plant. I'm going to make sure we get that planted. There we go. Okay, that's better. So what other jobs do we have? Oh, we can roll this now. So that we can do April 1, April 2. It doesn't make a big difference which day we roll. But after all this, I don't know. I guess we'll see what we need to plant when we need to plant it now. So we get different textures here depending on what is underneath. I think where it's changing to this texture, it changes where I ploughed. So this is on ploughed land and the other one is on mulched or cultivated land or grass growing land. So I do want to check lime levels on other fields. Okay. Again, engage. So I can't think what else is going on. Obviously we've got 2 more weeks of work. Today is the 7th, so 2 full weeks of work, and then we hit more holidays for 2 weeks. So again, we'll have about 3 farm sim streams over Christmas and New Year, although they won't be consecutive days because Christmas Day and New Year's Day are on Wednesdays, which means I have to either go to work on Monday, Tuesday and Friday, or Monday, Thursday and Friday. I'm not sure which day they give us off, and I was supposed to check that for Mrs. Osa, but I didn't, so I'll need to do that. I've got one of our business units has an issue with something she's doing and needs IT to review it. So I have to go to work today, except work is at home, so I've got to pay attention to the business or the work computer for a couple of hours after I finish streaming. good. But that's, as I said, that's later on this morning. And if I remember, I will look up to see when our corporate holidays are and note them on the calendar. So everybody knows. Teenage Osa is obviously not very observant, because she's talking, oh, I get Christmas break, and do you get, when are your days off for Christmas break? You sort of, no, when you're working there is no such thing as Christmas break, summer break, or anything else. There is work. If you're lucky, your work observes some holidays during the year. Sometimes